Continue. Let's go then. Let's go. As you know, it takes me a little bit to get into it every time. I'm a bit dopey every time we start, but that's fine. Oops, everyone's a bit dopey occasionally. Oh, so I'm an idiot. I was just trying to right click and move to move the camera. This isn't Astroneer. Okay, hold on. I'm in the wrong game, guys. I'm in the wrong game. Right, so yeah, it's 10:17. We've got to pass time until 4 p.m. I know, how could this not be Astroneer? Oh, because our dice are ready at 4 p.m. So that's what we're doing. So I guess we just... I wish that there was somewhere more comfortable for us to go, but we might as well just stand here. Oh no, we might as well go to the whirling and read our case files in there. Because the next place we're going is the doomed commercial area, so... You just woke your computer back up to type in chat and thought, wow, the music in this game really changed. Planet Zoo was up in the background. Planet Zoo and this game, I feel, have very, very different vibes. I love it. Nothing has ever happened with this here. I swear I'm so suspicious of this shed. Okay. I know it's a long run, but it's worth it because we're gonna be cozy. Surrounded by the people we love in the whirling. Oh no! Oh, I forgot about Renee. That's so sad. I'm still so upset about that. The writing on that roof is Alles vu N is French and means piss off! I love it. I should remember that. I've probably butchered it though. Alright, we're in the whirling. Let's read some case files.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Okay. Read a case file.
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
Half an hour each. So this is like 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Okay. Oh damn, that's not gonna take us to 4 p.m. But I need to know about the unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
Okay, so it's being passed around, no one could solve it, and we accepted it. Did we solve it?
You were so drunk, you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high.
Right. I mean, unsurprising.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration.
Okay. Okay.
The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Okay. The way I said it wasn't bad, you link up the VU and the N. Alles VU Zen. Did I make it worse? The expression never ends. I mean, we had a really good chance at least the encyclopedia check, and it just failed every single time. Alright, couldn't we just keep them off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home?
Where's the fun in that?
Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets?
Okay, so that's why this is unsolvable, because we can't stop them doing it.
Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
Wait, what's a local gang of this? To take them out? Do you mean like assassins? That's not very lawful. When they gave them ethanol. Okay. Oh, we don't know what this word means. Haven't stopped for 10 years.
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie is public indecency.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
You took a swing at our ledger? If you can, oh, I don't know if you can hear, but Rose is snoring and it's adorable. Okay, she's kind of stopped. It's only every so often. She's not gonna do it. Little shit. It was very loud and cute. Right. Nobody takes a swing at my ledger.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Oh boy.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut.
Oh boy.
You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who at this point is tending to Burke.
Holy shit. So we nearly killed Burke. And that's why we couldn't get into our ledger. Shit.
Kill them. They broke it. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Oh no. Okay.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Oh boy. That is one way to solve a case. I mean, I'm not saying whether it's a good or a bad way to solve a case, but I mean, it solved it. That is a method. Well done.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
Oh my god, so because we solved the case that nobody else could solve, we didn't get punished for solving it by... That's more than assault. Like, what the fuck? We know you like Half-Light. We know what you think. Oh my god, we got them on the street, off the streets. Nobody said there was rules what we weren't allowed to do. Okay, I want to know about the square bullet hole murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
The only idea I've got here is like a customized gun that fires square, like, cube bullets.
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
Interesting that you can't lock people up for these things, but you can totally cripple someone for it. I know. You're thinking of fire poker. Could be, but it would have burn marks. Oh, you mean maybe it's not hot? That could work. Just jab it in, yeah. Real hard. Yeah, just a cold one, not a burning one. I don't know why my brain instantly set it on fire.
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next?
Oh no, that's it? We're not gonna find out? We never solved it?
Don't worry. One day.
One day. Next game. Sequel confirmed. Disco square bullet holes.
One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Okay. I'm so curious. Sad times. Next world mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
It was us, wasn't it? Sequel confirmed indeed. Is there actually a sequel confirmed? You don't know if you want a sequel to this game. I'm gonna see how I feel at the end of it. Because I definitely want more games like this, 100%. A lot of the appeal of discovering a weird new world would be gone. It would have to be quite a different game. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I bet it was us, Art Cop.
Cause of failure. Rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
Whoa.
People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case.
It has 2 names, that thing and that fucking thing. I love that. Hello, Fede, welcome. How are you doing? We just got started not too long ago. We're just reading some case files to pass some time until our dice are ready. Oh, there isn't a sequel confirmed or anything. Well, I think I would totally play a sequel where we find out what happened with the bullet square shaped gun holes. I don't remember how to say that sentence. Okay. So, right, we've got assigned to the case.
The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
But does it matter who came up with the design? Surely it just matters who did it? I don't really know. Do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Okay. I forget as well, yeah, we're just reading what's on the pages in front of us. You'd play a prequel, yeah. What if the sequel was just that case? It could be DLC, right? The case files.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
What's a plebiscite? So I guess the mural did what it aimed to do, and like, I don't really understand what it means. True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it's too late for us. Long version of pleb, does that help? I would have said that's just like a stupid person. But I don't think that's what this means. Possible a sequel would take place in this world but with totally different characters. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see, would be like, I don't know what you call it, where kind of like what well, I haven't played Life is Strange 2, but kind of like what they've done with Life is Strange, where it's still Life is Strange but it's different. It's not, I don't think it's well, maybe it is a sequel, I don't know because I haven't played it, but like where it's different characters and that.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Remove the mural.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it.
Oh.
Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class. I don't understand.
In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
Okay, so it got kept, so it was barely a case because they didn't even have to clean it up. plebeian, plebiscite, all relate to the common people. The first two being people. The word used here is some kind of vote. Like a referendum. Oh, perhaps, yeah. Yeah, also, that's a good point as well, that there's plenty of other countries that we've heard about that exist in this world. So there's plenty of stories they could tell. Plebiscite is a decision made by the people, an organised one, i.e. people get to vote. Right. Well, I guess that was the easiest outcome for everyone, because at least no one had to clean it up. Right, the couch in an unexpected location.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it, in the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
They could look like a rock band. But they probably look like assholes. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa or couch or whatever it was.
They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it and smoked cigarettes because they felt it's intellectual.
He's like missing out, so he didn't say that whole thing, and then he didn't say drank coffee, and then he took a big pause between that thing. Audio be weird. Can't take your sofa for a walk without people complaining about it. I mean, right? Oh, this is where, again, I wish Astroneer was real, because if you could just get a packager, right? And then you could just package your couch and take it somewhere and then just sit on it. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
So we cleaned up the couch.
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
Okay, so we cleaned it up. That's our real job. They probably had a lot of work to voice the whole game. Oh no, I know, I'm just saying that it was weird. That would be so convenient. I would do that. Just like the beach, like the woods, just wherever you can think of, just take your couch. Amazing. I guess that's pretty much what these kids were doing, except how were they carrying it? Sandy wet couch. I mean, don't put it in the sea. Just put it on the beach. And then, yeah, then you can hoover it when you get back, so it'll be alright. Right, murder at the... I still don't eat... Do you pronounce that like... hookah? Like... Do you say it like ooh? Or do you just say it like... hookah? I don't know.
Murder. Tum tum tum.
Oh, he's gonna say
at
it.
the hookah parlor.
Hookah.
Was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Okay, so the original officer died, but not because of this case. You heard it with a long ooh and a short uk. So it could, right, because that's what I was thinking. It's kind of like book or book. People say it both ways. Wait, how did he die?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Damn. Okay. Yikes. Right. Okay. Done with the
Joseph
murder.
Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Well, I mean, JM. Joseph Mills. So beaten to death. So this was the guy's partner who had died. He couldn't solve it. He was doing it solo because his partner had died, I guess. And then he just couldn't solve it. Yeah, was he a good cop?
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer had vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Bet you had something to do with it. Okay.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Can you get high off it?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
I don't really have an opinion. Really cool.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer.
Hey.
No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be?
Maybe he fell and hit his head? You were actually coming in a hookah parlor for a while. Oh, what's it like? Is it like... What's it like? Gonna look for food. Enjoy your food, koala. It would be quite a fall, but it can happen really easily, right? Maybe something fell from the ceiling and squashed his head.
Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge.
He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table and died.
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
I was right. You maybe don't put them on sharp tables. It's a place with Turkish smoky things that have flavor vapor and also serve alcohol and noms. It used to be the hot thing back some days. Is it like... Why do you do it? What is it like? Is it just the flavor? Like, I'm just curious because I don't really know if it doesn't get you high or anything. Why? Is it a thing? Okay. He must have sucked a lot of it.
Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name.
Seems to be a bit of a cross between going to a bar and a coffee shop too, just a place to chill and have some flavour. Ah, view in the apartment. Good luck, Sassy. Okay. So what was he doing there for 6 hours? Stephen. Not Stephen. Oh no, that was Steve, right?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
So, yeah, he wasn't a very good detective at all, was he really? So it wasn't a murder at all. It was just an accident. Okay, aw.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. You don't exactly close.
Right, we've done everything with the ledger. And we've still got 2 hours and 10 minutes to pass. Don't suppose the lost square bullet hole papers are in the bin or something, are they? No, I went back to the bin and I didn't find anything else. But while we're here, we could talk about phasmids. Let's put some non-logical clothes on, maybe? Conceptualization might be good for this. Perception. Drama could be good. Conceptualization, composure. Let's put our pain threshold scarf on just to be safe. In case it gets too painful. And we could do encyclopedia. Yeah, we look cool. It's a good thing you are not scared of phasmids, or you might actually be playing phasmidphobia. Every time I say that word, it does sound like
hello,
I'm talking
sweetie.
about that game.
So nice to see you again.
Cryptids.
Of course, dear. Is there a particular cryptid that you're interested in learning about?
I think it means the same thing. Okay. Is this bird a cryptid? Point to the tie she gave you.
No. It's the cryptid.
The cryptid?
Oh, yes.
A small silvery skull shines between your fingers. Yeah, so that's the tie we just took off. So what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn,
Wow.
the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until
11.5 meters is a long wingspan. That's a big bird.
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until
it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
Right.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
Right. Nice encyclopedia. I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plottenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Yeah, where is Umrao?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
Okay, what happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great blackbird. It seemed gargantuan.
Desperately low on water. Definitely not hallucinating. They found a Quetzalcoatlus. Is that a dinosaur? Is that a dinosaur? It sounds like a dinosaur. Also, with you playing Planet Zoo, it makes me really want to try Jurassic World Evolution. Very much. Not technically. Oh god.
Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uva got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Yeah, but you're also in a desert where, like, they're gonna rot quickly. You know, when things die, they're just gonna rot away. It's very hot. So it's not technically a dinosaur, but it's a flying one. As big as a giraffe. That's a big bird. A big bird.
Eat the bird. Uva. It's the only way to survive.
Eat the bird. He was following it?
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plottenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest.
Maybe it was a dragon.
The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
I mean, at this point, I think he'd be dead. Like, dehydration is a serious thing, man. Mind controlling bird. This sounds even more like heat stroke. Yep. Yeah, how did he survive to tell the story?
The 8-eyed Teratorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
I'm gonna go with it though. Fuck yes.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility when you consider that there is literally areas in the world where reality doesn't exist and stuff like that.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one. By the end of the decade, latest.
Okay. I'm just checking Discord to see what you've put in. Whoa, big bird. It's like, oh, that is really cool. Is that a real thing? Holy shit, I'd love to see one of those. I mean, obviously not now, but like, was it real? Is it? Could it fly? What the fuck? Or is it fictional? It was real, don't think you've seen any fossils though. So it's a cryptid. That's incredible. They say it could fly, we obviously don't have decisive proof. Just like, cause it looks like it's, suppose I don't really know what bird wings look like without feathers on. Maybe it had like giant feathers. Cause like that doesn't seem like enough wing. That's fascinating anyway, yeah. And maybe it could glide? I don't know. That is very cool. Right.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
It is a cool creature.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
I do like the 8 eyes also, that's cool. The wings stretch out very wide. It has a wrist on the floor and long wing fingers are going back up the height of the back. Oh, let me have another look. So they like fold out. That's insane. Oh, I love it. I've never seen that before. It's amazing. Okay, so that was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
All right. I mean, the thing is, it says reports of 8-eyed bird skulls, but reports are actual 8-eyed bird skulls, you know?
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids.
Oh.
So, what else do you want to know?
Good, I'm glad I've been wearing it then. Oh, maybe I could have been wearing it to speak to someone or something and get more dialogue. I am here to report an 8-eyed bird skull in my hand right now. Take that, noob. I proved it. Oh god. So, right, the tiniest cryptid. This should be good.
Cryobacter catlensis.
Right.
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
Wow, a unicellular bacterium. That means it's just one cell?
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. certainly from before recorded history.
And she defrosted it? That sounds like a good way to start a zombie apocalypse.
Michanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
That does sound like a good way to start a zombie apocalypse. She injected herself with it?
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
That doesn't mean it would make a person survive. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. She mustn't know anything about bacteria.
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
I intend to live forever is a symbol. Even Noob knows this is not science. Yes. Right, so I'm gonna... I'm gonna say, you mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world?
Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging.
How do you
but
know
also
this?
became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away.
I thought you said 1. I thought you said she went missing. 2. Maybe it was rabies. Is rabies a bacteria? Welcome back, Sassy.
We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
Can't cope. It's a virus, damn it. Well... yeah. Some sort of brain-eating bacteria. Yeah, given the flexible science going on, maybe they just mistook a virus for a bacteria. That's what I'm gonna go with, yes. Alright, is that a cryptid on this pen you gave me?
Yes. It's the kind green ape. Half war story, half undiscovered species in the genus Homo.
The kind green ape? Right, war story?
Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
With its saliva?
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
Right, I don't have an explanation for this just yet. So yeah, the vapor flavor place is just an aesthetic. It's extra flavor. It's an extra flavor thing, and you can share it with the table. Oh. You can't explain it well. You have to be around to experience it. Yeah, no, that explains it a little bit. It's like it's a vibe. Yeah, as opposed to the mean green ape. You never want to come across the mean green ape in your tent in the middle of the night. So, right, undiscovered subspecies of man.
Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus. Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
Well, I mean, what's it called? The kind green ape, feels superior to us. It's got healing saliva. I knew it, Kim, you're not human. I'm pretty sure Kim is the same species as us. To suggest otherwise is stupid. Wait, what? Hold on, I didn't even understand. I thought we were suggesting that Kim is a kind green ape. Yeah. Noob, Entitled entirely whooshing that she just called Kim not human. I blanked out that line and I thought we'd assumed that she'd called him a kind green ape. Fucking hell. I'm pretty sure Kim is the same. Basically, she's trying to say that other races are different species. I'm pretty sure that Kim is the same species as us. To suggest otherwise is stupid. I'm sorry, lady. I can't humor you on that one.
The lieutenant looks at you, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, Kim, I got your back.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to imply that Saolites are inferior to us in many ways. You are superior. For example, your earwax doesn't have a foul odor like ours does.
What? Oh. It's rude to go around sniffing people's ears.
A tremendous evolutionary advantage, I'm sure. But perhaps we've had enough speculative biology for today?
Kim's like, I'm so fed up with this man. Yeah, he's like, thank goodness he didn't take that race theory talk as seriously as I thought. It's still in my brain, that. Are we still waiting for anything? No. Are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course there is.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Yeah, I need to know. You're right, Kim, it's childish, but I need to know.
Okay, I won't spoil your fun. What is the invisible cryptid?
It's the CtrlAltNoob. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The CtrlAltNoob is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
So it's just noise. Yeah, of course there are invisible ones, hence why we haven't found them. That's the only reason we haven't found them, is because they're invisible in the sound waves.
CtrlAltNoob can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
CtrlAltNoob. That's a cool name. Thin whisper of sound. A whisper light and low. A whisper light and low.
Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Although the low part is a little ironic. The CtrlAltNoob makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
So it's just a higher pitched sound wave than what we can hear. And you're saying that that's an animal?
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
So what evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Songbirds.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
Or maybe it was just birds.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the CtrlAltNoob, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
No evidence that it's a corpuscle, but lots that it is literally a sound. Yeah.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Did the noises respond to things and stuff like that? Name them.
Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the Mamadakwa they followed individually.
Could it be here right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
Maybe it's predatory.
What if it's predatory?
It's not. Don't worry. If it were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts.
So what does it eat?
I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also invisible?
I mean, the damage could also be invisible, that's true. Oh, God. Half noob and noob light. Why is the Mama Dakwa so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
Oh my god, what's the damage? Is a 2mm hole in the world of no noise? Mind blown. Right, I really need to hear about this extinction.
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadakwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
Do they just cancel each other out?
Psst. They cancel each other out. Psst.
Fuck yeah, I'm an encyclopedia. Illumination or amplification. Right, they cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
But that wouldn't kill the birds. That would just make them sound mute, right? I know, right? Word for word.
Great regret washes over her, a wending cloth.
They are sound. I don't understand. I thought they're an invisible bird that makes high sounds because they can't actually be a sound. Because a sound isn't an animal. If the bird is the sound wave and the sound wave is cancelled, where is the bird? Bird got cancelled. Bloody cancel culture. Getting rid of these poor cryptids.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere.
Oh, it's migrated.
There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable CtrlAltNoob population anywhere.
I'm just trying to think of an explanation for what it could have been. The same as the ape man, like the other ones kind of had an explanation. I mean, for this one, yeah, just sound. But I don't know about the ape. The kind green ape. Ah, yes, trying to make sense of cryptozoology.
Of course. A common thread in these. disappearance, and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
Kim's enjoying it.
I'm glad you did, dear.
Aw, genuinely glad.
What about what?
I've asked them all now. Can't get enough of these cryptids.
I'm glad you like them, but I'm not really one to tell you about all of them. You should ask my husband
We
if you
should
get the
ask
chance. He's
Morel.
the real expert.
Okay, we've still got an hour and a half. Plus. So, Morel, time to entertain
Hello.
us.
Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap. Okay. I already did my best to inform you. I don't really know what else I could discuss with the layman.
Any recording equipment can easily get some repetitive, predictable interference in it. It's probably very similar to when, like, people think they're communicating with ghosts through static and stuff because they're listening for it. They can find it, you know.
Layman, you always have to prove yourself with this man, which means you have to provide the cryptids. Maybe he'll answer.
Ah, so we have to... Okay. I know all about the kind green ape. Look, I even have the kind green ape pen.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites.
I mean, if the kind green ape is real, that sounds like the best species in the world.
A warm wave passes him. Of course, the kind green ape is her favorite, he thinks.
There is some signal they thought was aliens once, a short burst of waves, but at random times. Nobody could explain it, so they were really excited. Oh, I'm waiting for the second half of this story.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm, though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village.
Hashtag invested.
The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
Oh, Gary, the frickin' racist.
Those people were on a different rung of the ladder of civilization. That's all.
Shut up, Gary. No one asked you. It turned out someone would occasionally open the microwave without waiting for it to be done for the last... And a few last microwaves flew out and got detected on the radio telescope. Wow. And they thought it was aliens. That's amazing. That's crazy. Is it dangerous to open the microwave before it's done? I should stop doing that. Maybe I'll be exciting some scientists. The amount of waves that get out is incredibly small. Press the stop button. I've never heard this before. Okay. I usually open it when there's like 1 second left so it doesn't beep. But I will press the stop button in future. They can do surprise stuff to DNA. Yeah. Ugh. Okay.
You kept complaining about how dirty they were.
And I realized that their hygiene habits were completely appropriate for nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. Let's change the topic.
Gary. Slap you. Okay. You've used a microwave oven very few times in your life. Oh, I use it. Like, a lot. You do not enjoy this technology. I use it a lot. It's so easy. Right. I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the gnome of Jeroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
There must be evil apes. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to say this. Evil apes.
The what?
The evil apes. I suspect I may be one myself.
Oh, you're just talking about humans. Well, yes. We are quite dangerous, but we're hardly cryptids. The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose.
Yes, the dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Does it attack people?
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
Maybe these people did just get stomped, like trampled by cows or something. What does the dread moose look like?
Just like an ordinary Arden moose.
Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
Surely it's really easy to identify if one of them's eating flesh. Exactly, cows trample people all the time. Like, doesn't mean they ate the person. They just do it. I'm 100% behind the dread moose. I utterly believe it exists.
Of course you do.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more. Sightings in Vasa, reaching back 4 centuries. But, of course, nothing satiates the skepticism of.
Maybe these bodies were actually killed by a person, like a serial killer, that got away with it because you believed it was a dread moose. You think a horse would eat a person, at least a little bit? Maybe. I mean, I don't know, because how they would have to be hungry, right? But for them to get that hungry, they're gonna be like, well, I don't know if big animals work the same as like rabbits and guinea pigs and stuff, but like they have to keep eating, otherwise their organs shut down. So like, if horses work the same, for it to get to a point where they are that hungry, they're probably already dying. Horses are weird and people catch them doing all sorts. That's true, horses are weird. It would be really cool to study horses. They have wild horses in Australia. It's really cool. In the outback. Not as weird as chickens, probably. I love chickens. I would totally love to get some like rescue hens, but they don't live for very long and that would be too sad. You used to have wild horses in Greece till very recently. Oh, because of the wildfires. That's horrible. That's awful. I remember seeing some in the outback in Australia. It was really cool. Just like, and it also makes you think like, they would be so dangerous, the wild horses. Like, I think they're quite scary. They could just kill you. But yeah, it's exceptionally cool. Okay.
A detective. Pardon me, I did not wish to seek conflict. It's simply my training to question things.
That's true.
Understood, Lieutenant.
So yeah, I don't buy that one at all. It's really not difficult to be able to tell the difference between a regular moose and a dread moose. Yeah, exactly. Horses are very scary as they are. Yeah, very strong and heavy. Exactly, yeah, they are like, I agree. They are impressive beasts. Yeah, I'm always like feel in awe of them. I just know about, what's this one? Cryobacter catalensis. We've just
Oh, everyone knows about that one.
Was that the
Thanks to
big bird?
Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Oh, that's the bacteria, not the big bird. Okay.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok.
Her life ended? That's not what your wife said. Apparently she's invincible. See, you can't even agree between yourselves what's real and what's not. There used to be a chicken coop in the back of the house you bought when you looked... In the back of the house you bought when you looked around, but it was falling down, so they got rid of it. The back of the house you bought when you... Oh, when you looked around to view the house, you mean? And then by the time you got it, it was gone. No. What would you do with all the eggs though, Noob? I could make cakes. Stole your coop, how dare. So many cakes. Right, the Nong-Ok. Tell me about the Nong-Ok.
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian. Perhaps any other animal. Who knows?
Okay. Kind of like... I was gonna say an ostrich. Ostriches can run fast, right?
When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the ok hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor.
So it's flightless, but it hangs from tree branches. How big is it? It's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake. Oh no. I thought he said alien before you realize he said avian. That changes the sentence, doesn't it? Faster than any other alien. Ostriches are, I think, fast. Aren't they?
Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
Imagine walking through the jungle and seeing like loads of ostriches hanging like bats from the trees. Or you've got the big thunder. It maybe would it pass over the sea that quickly if it was the same thunder that we just had? Because we had big thunder as well while I was out gardening. Like I heard it, I had both of my headphones in, listening to your stream, and I could hear the thunder just absolutely rumbling over the top. It was horrible. Maybe it's just a big storm. It is still raining here. But it also sounds like Scotland got it too, so I think maybe it came from Scotland. Maybe it was travelling like south. If it was going southeast, it could be the same one. Say hi to the storm from me. Right. It was really horrible a couple of hours back. What time was it when I was gardening? That's got to be a couple of hours ago now. That's when it just started. Okay. Like, extreme animals. You do get, in Australia, you do get bush turkeys that sit in the trees. They're really cool. So maybe it's like a bush turkey with long legs. When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. in the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. A chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Okay. The Great Emu War, no. Yeah, they lose a war with big birds. Yeah, oh, I remember, was it maybe in a zoo? I don't know, but I remember reading about, like, some stuff. I didn't like it. The only time in recorded history the humans lost to water birds. Oh god. Right, tell me about any cool cryptid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories.
Kidding me?
Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Well, fine. She told me to ask you.
Be friendly, dear. The detective really likes these critters. We've talked about them in great detail.
Now the man feels embarrassed. Time to move on, perhaps.
Okay, Gart's just there listening in as well, like, he's gonna try and get himself a cryptid statue, or stuffed cryptid.
By all means.
This is another one of those ones that we should have had. I'm sure it was about 92% or so. And we lost it, and I'm upset. How many points have we got? We've got 3. Gonna get one of those 10-meter birds to stuff above the bar. Exactly. It was like, they could put it in the corner, and then one wing could come out here for 5 meters, and, or 5, was it meters? Yeah. And then one can come out here for 5 meters.